Hello everyone. This video shows how to build a seamless tetrahedron frame out of Zen magnets using a technique I learned from Mathnetism. With just 4 triangular faces, the tetrahedron is the simplest of the 5 regular Platonic solids. Plato associated the tetrahedron with the classical element of fire. The magnetic design is very strong and can be built in large sizes. Shown here are seamless tetrahedra with edge lengths 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. In magnet lore, the word seamless means that every magnet fits into a hollow created by its neighbors. Seamless connections result when nearby chains have parallel magnetic orientations. So like this, you take a chain and break it and then add magnets, one chain to another, both chains in the same direction. That's called a parallel connection. And you can see that the magnets in one chain fit into the hollows of the other chain. This results in stronger connections and closer packings than antiparallel connections, which is where magnets meet side by side instead of fitting into the hollows. So what we're going to do is fold this over and these are antiparallel connections. And as you can see, they're farther apart. They sit side by side instead of fitting into the hollows created by their neighbors. And such anti-parallel connections are called seams, where these magnets butt up against each other. The standard, weaker tetrahedron design has seams running along each edge. You can see the seam on that edge, this edge, etc. To my knowledge, the largest tetrahedron frame built using this standard design is one by Jason BBB 711. It has edge length 42 and magnet count 948. Also, I might add that I think the seamless design is more pleasing overall. The faces are flat, so both this inner ring and the outer ring of this face, both of them match the shape of the face, whereas here that's not true. Also, the edges are not straight. They tend to be bowed a little bit. You can see it a little bit in this one, in this edge here, compared with the seamless design where they're perfectly straight. The seamless tetrahedron can be built in a huge range of sizes, and we will build this small tetrahedron with edge length 10, namely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And this requires 196 magnets. At this size, you'll start with a ring of 28 magnets. So there's 28. For a list of other sizes, magnet counts, and ring counts, please see the written description. So now we started with this chain of length 28, ring of length 28. I add another ring to it, and I lay this flat, and I'm just going to follow around the outside of this lower ring and making a break at 6 corners in the shape to form a rough hexagon. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then add a second row on top of this bottom row. Okay, so it's not very pretty. But in order to make it pretty, you take two of these kinks and you push them together to form a corner with two magnets on the top. Then the opposite two kinks, push them up together to form a corner with two magnets on the top. And then try and determine where the middle is. And so you get this, it looks like on the top. And then on the bottom side, it looks like this, where there are three magnets instead of two. And then instead of coming to a point, you come to a place where there are two magnets. Then the next step in the procedure is to add two magnets here and two magnets here. And we're going to create, we're going to bend this way. And here's how to do it. This magnet, and you want to make sure that the orientation is right, I was winding it this way with this chain. And now, having turned it over, I have to wind it the other way. The magnet attaches to those two top magnets. We have a square right here. This magnet attaches to the bottom two. This magnet attaches to the top two, and then it will flop over into the middle inside of the square. Do the same to the other side. And then there's going to be a double motion. We're going to bend this back, and I'm going to do two things simultaneously. I'm going to twist this magnetic strut this way, twist this one out also, and then I'm also going to bend it at the same time. Let's see if I can show you this way. Twisting and bending. And so those two magnets that we added are now part of the shape, as you can see. Do the same to the other side. Twist and push it back, and you end up with something that looks like this. Slightly bent now compared to before. Then the next step is to bend this even further. So we're just going to push down on this side and down on this side and up here and here until those two magnets have come together. Here they're apart, now they're together. Same thing on the other side. See, those magnets have come together. Then what's to be observed on the top here, there are two magnets, one right here and one right here, that are one on top of each other. We need those magnets to go in this hollow space here and in this hollow space here. So remember these four magnets, 1, 2, 3, 4, because these two magnets are going to go here and here. So I'm just going to grab them, push this one, I'm going to push this one this way and this one that way. Just grab them with my fingernails. Okay, so here are the four magnets that I pointed out before, and here are the two magnets that used to be oriented vertically and are now oriented horizontally. And now what you can see is that you have three magnets along this side and two along that side. Just smash it until it's nice and clean. I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the other side. These two magnets, this one will go up and to the left, this one will go down and to the right to fit inside of these 1, 2, 3, 4 magnets horizontally. Sorry you can't see it while I do it. There's no way to do it while I put my hand in the way. So now here are the four magnets, here are the two that were oriented vertically and are now horizontally. Okay, so what you have now is an interesting shape. We have a V, and inside the V, each corner of the V has two magnets on the inside and three magnets on the outside. But there are two ways to look at this V. You can look at it this way, and you can also look at it this way. And this way has the same thing. There are two magnets on the inside of the V, three magnets along the outside. And so just noting what we have in terms of magnetic orientation, the magnets are seamless connections run this way, then this way, then this way, then this way, in a big circle, kinked in the middle. And in order to form a tetrahedron, you might be able to see right now that we'll need a leg here, and then a leg here. It doesn't matter which way the orientation for these legs, so you can do it either way you want. And in order to create these legs, I'd like to point out this hexagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my dog chewing in the background. And in the middle of that hexagon is a central magnet. This one's key in inserting this extra leg. The first chain that I'm going to put in, the first magnet of the chain, is going to go just below that central magnet in that hollow created by these three magnets, right in there. Then the next chain is going to go here to the upper right of the central magnet, and then the next chain is going to go to the upper left of that central magnet. Now you can check the written description for the number of magnets needed in the chain. But for an edge length of 10, which is what we're doing here, you need a chain of length 6. For an edge count of 11, you'll need a chain length of 7, etc. You can check the written description for that. So I'm now going to attach this magnet at the end of the chain to that hollow spot just below the central magnet. Okay, it's right in the hollow between those three magnets. Then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, that's chain number 1. Chain number 2 is 7 magnets long instead of 6. Now the idea here is that I want the end magnet of that chain to go into this hollow spot, up and to the right of this central. This is the central magnet in that hexagon that we talked about before. So I want that magnet to go right there. Trouble is, if the magnet touches this chain first or this magnet first, it's difficult to get it into that hollow spot. So the best way I've found is when I'm trying to insert this chain, let it touch this magnet first, the one to the right of the center magnet, and then slide it up to that spot. Now this magnet chain has the same orientation, so we'll get seamless connections as the previous chain. Okay, I've now contacted the magnet to the right, pushing it up into that spot, and then connecting the other side in its spot as well. Okay, and the next chain also has length 7, and I'm going to put its end right here, which is up and to the left of this center magnet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And in inserting this chain, using the same kind of arguments as before, you want to avoid at all costs letting this chain, the new chain that I'm about to insert, touch the last one that we did. It needs to first make contact with this magnet to the left of the center magnet. Next, it makes contact with the magnets along the chain of length 6. and hopefully never makes contact with this one. Making contact with that one leads only to pain, anguish. Okay, so I'm touching this one, pushing it into place. Okay, so now I think you can see that these two chains, this one and this one, are not making contact with each other. Each of them is making seamless contact with the bottom chain. Now the final step in getting this leg done is to put a chain of length 8. Starting here, there's a little square of 4 magnets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. The first magnet will go here and the last magnet will go there. Okay, so now you can see that we have a triangle with 6 magnets along the top and a triangle with 6 magnets along the bottom. And one thing you'll notice is that sometimes these tend to get offset this way, so really I don't have a flat triangle. This magnet is too low. So a lot of times you need to actually kind of nudge this back up into place, smashing magnets and getting them in good contact with each other so that this face is nice and flat. It's a nice flat triangle. Once you have that triangle, then you can go ahead and add the final 3 magnets that really stabilizes this shape. 1, 2, 3 magnets form the very corner, and then the shape tends to be really stable and happy with life. So 3 magnets on top. A very, very pretty corner, strong shape. So all we have to do now is just to build one more. We do it exactly the same as before. It doesn't matter if you build it left to right or right to left using the chain. You can do any orientation you want. The reason is that you've got this, the magnet orientation goes this way here, up here, down there. So either way, this one's gonna be up on one side and down on the other side, and it might be reversed. So again, 6 magnets going into the hollow space below the central magnet, and similarly on the other side. 7 magnets going up and to the right of the center magnet. Seven magnets going up and to the left of the center magnet. Now here's an example of where the last chain that I inserted ended up making contact with the one with the chain previous. This is bad. It's wrong. And so we're going to have to undo this. It needs to make contact with the chain below, like that. And now it's not very pretty, but it's doable. Then finally, chain of length 8 along the top, and then fuss with the corners until they're nice and pretty. You can see that this edge is not quite up to this magnet here. Should be up at the same level as these other magnets, and so we're going to push this up to make that happen, like that. And then strengthen the corners a little bit, Add 3 magnets to each corner. And this is a seamless tetrahedron. Beautiful, strong, very, very strong. Have a nice day.